This original WSRE presentation is made possible by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the Escambia County Academic Challenge presented by WSRE. The Escambia County School District is pleased to partner with WSRE to showcase some of our area's best and brightest high school students. I'm Jonathan Thompson, the host and moderator for tonight's match. This evening's competition will feature Pensacola High School and Pine Forest High School. I'll now ask the students from Pensacola High to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Nathan Dang, and my favorite field of knowledge is history.
Hi, I'm Matt Petronez, and my favorite field of knowledge is literature.
Hello, I'm Hannibal Brooks, and my favorite area of study is psychology.
Hi, I'm Caroline Fleischauer, and my favorite subject is history.
And the coach for Pensacola is Alan Robinson. I'll now have the players from Pine Forest High introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Terrence, and my favorite field of knowledge is chemistry.
Hello, my name is Alexander, and my favorite field of knowledge is marine biology.
Hi, my name is Alana, and my favorite field of study is also psychology.
Hello, my name is Bill, and I'm fascinated with mythology.
And the coach for Pine Forest is Richard Loisel. Please join us after this short break, and we will begin tonight's match.
TV can be a child's window to the world. What will they see?
Welcome back. Teams will have two 10-minute halves in which to answer a variety of toss-up and bonus questions. Students, if you're ready, we'll begin tonight's match. Toss-up question. Fields in Elk Hills were leased to Edward Doheny, and other fields were leased to Harry Sinclair. This happened after control...
Pensacola, player 3.
Teapot Dome.
The Teapot Dome scandal is correct. For your bonus, answer these following questions about an early American poet for 10 points each. First, what 17th century Puritan expressed her religious struggles in such poems as The Flesh and the Spirit and Meditations Divine and Moral?
Anne Bradstreet.
Bradstreet is correct. Second bonus, Bradstreet is chiefly remembered for what poetry collection published in 1650?
10th Muse sprung up lately.
That's close, I can't quite give it to you. It's the 10th Muse lately sprung up in America. 10 points on bonus. Toss-up question. This law is named after a 19th century Scottish chemist. It can be theoretically derived from the fact that gas temperature varies directly with kinetic energy, so therefore two gases at the same temperature have velocities that vary inversely with the square root of their molecular masses. The velocities of the molecules in turn vary directly with the gases' rates of intermingling. Name this law that uses these relationships to determine rates of diffusion and effusion.
Pensacola, player 4.
Graham's Law.
Graham's Law is correct. For your bonus, identify these art-related terms beginning with the letter M for 10 points each. First, this stylistic movement rejected the naturalism of the High Renaissance, replacing it with distorted and elongated figures as seen in such works as Parmigianino's Madonna with the Long Neck.
Mannerism.
That is correct. Second bonus, inspired by Marcel Duchamp's ready-mades, this art form created by Alexander Calder was first built using objects balanced on wire arms.
Mobiles?
Mobiles is correct. Toss-up question. This writer spent the last 14 years of her life on her mother's farm in Georgia after being diagnosed with lupus. She won a National Book Award posthumously in 1972 for her complete stories. Name this Southern Gothic writer whose original collections were titled Everything That Rises Must Converge and A Good Man is Hard to Find.
Pensacola. Player 3.
O'Connor.
Flannery O'Connor is correct. For your bonus, identify these ancient battles of the Punic Wars for 10 points each. Number 1. Hannibal's greatest victory over the Romans came at this 216 BC battle that saw him trap the Romans in a circle and butcher them like hogs.
Cannae?
Battle of Cannae is correct. Second bonus, Hannibal was on the other end of the stick at this 212 BC battle that saw Scipio Africanus emerge victorious and effectively end the Second Punic War.
Zama?
Battle of Zama is correct. 20 points on bonus. Toss-up question. This architect said, "I could not tell you about the concept of art. I need to give it a concrete form." His works combined Christian and Islamic styles, lending a modern update to forms which had been fused 500 years earlier. Name the Spanish designer of the Casa Vicens.
Pensacola. Player 4.
Gaudi.
Antonio Gaudi is correct. For your bonus, identify the term from botany given its description for 10 points each. First, this term describes a plant such as moss that grows on another plant but does not depend on it for nutrients, only for support.
Epiphyte? Yeah. Epiphyte.
That is correct. For your second bonus, this is the woody tissue of vascular plants that conducts water and provides structural support.
Xylem.
Xylem is correct. This is a calculation question. Question, what does the cosine of theta equal if theta is in the first quadrant and the sine of theta is 12 over 13?
Pensacola. Player 4.
5 over 13.
That is correct. For your bonus, identify these frequently anthologized short stories for 10 points each. First, Old Man Warner represents the forces of traditionalism in this Shirley Jackson short story, which ends with the stoning of Tessie Hutchinson as she cries, "It's not fair."
The Lottery.
That is correct. Next, this Frank Stockton short story tells of a princess who signals her lover to open either a door containing a deadly animal or one containing a beautiful woman. It ends by asking the reader to decide which choice she made.
The Lady or the Tiger.
That is correct. Toss-up question. This general had his first successes driving Confederate forces out of what would become West Virginia. He loved being called Young Napoleon, but he referred to Abraham Lincoln as the original guerrilla.
Pensacola. Player 2.
McClellan.
George McClellan is correct. For your bonus, identify these pioneers of computer science for 10 points each. First, born in 1791, he was the first person to come up with the idea of a programmable computer. But it wasn't until 1991 that a difference engine was finally constructed from his original plans. It worked perfectly.
Do we know? No idea. Do we say? What do you want to say? Italian?
Answer, please.
No answer.
That would be Charles Babbage. Second, most modern computers are based on his eponymous architecture, which separates storage from processing. He is also considered the father of such concepts as game theory and the idea of mutually assured destruction.
Nash. Yeah. Nash?
Incorrect, it's John von Neumann.
Oh.
Toss-up question. This isotope exists in the atmosphere with a ratio of 1.3 times 10 to the negative 12th power compared to the more common form of its element. It is produced in the upper atmosphere by cosmic rays and gives off a beta particle and an antineutrino when it decays. Its half-life is 5,730 years.
Pine Forest. Player 1.
Carbon-14.
Carbon-14 is correct. For your bonus, answer the following about a certain mountain range for 10 points each. First, this mountain range lies in Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and southwest Russia. Often used as part of the traditional dividing line between Europe and Asia, it lies between the Caspian and Black Seas.
Is it Ural?
Answer, please.
Caucasus Mountains?
Repeat.
Caucasus Mountains?
Can't quite take that's the Caucasus Mountains. Second bonus, the highest peak in the Caucasus. This mountain in southwestern Russia has twin cones reaching 18,500 feet and 18,350 feet. Answer, please.
Mount Vesuvius.
Incorrect. That is Mount Elbrus. Toss-up question. These contain a nucleus and an off-glide. They occur more in British English than American English, but they do exist in many common American words. Name this term for a gliding monosyllabic speech item that starts at or near the articulatory position for one vowel and moves toward the position for another.
Pensacola. Player 2.
A contraction?
That is incorrect.
Pine Forest. Player 2.
A slur.
Incorrect. That is a diphthong. Toss-up question. This 9-letter word comes from the ancient Jewish practice of having two animals for the high priest. One would be sacrificed and the other would be set free, but only after receiving the sins
Pensacola.
of the Israelites.
Player 1.
Scapegoat.
Scapegoat is correct. Your bonus involves calculation. Give the following expressions containing factorials as a single real number for 10 points each. Number 1, 4 factorial.
24.
That is correct. Second, 10 factorial over 8 factorial.
90.
That is correct. Toss-up question. His body was originally buried in Westminster Abbey but moved 3 years later to a burial ground for criminals. When he died, his son Richard took over his position but resigned after only
Pensacola. Player 4.
Oliver Cromwell.
That is correct. For your bonus, identify these unorthodox musical instruments for 10 points each. First, this consists of chromatically tuned flat metal bars in a frame, usually vertical. The bars are struck by a small handheld hammer to produce a bell-like tone.
Glockenspiel?
Answer, please.
Glockenspiel.
That is correct. Next, small hollowed pieces of hardwood or ivory connected by a cord. They are held in the hand and clicked together to beat time.
What? Castanets. Castanets.
That is correct. Toss-up question. When Jocelyn Bell and Anthony Hewish first detected these indirectly in 1967, they called them little green men because they could not imagine a natural cause. They are detectable when the rotation axis and magnetic pole axis in a star do not line up and the star rotates rapidly. Name this classification of spinning neutron star.
Pensacola. Player 2.
Binary stars.
That is incorrect, and time has expired for the half. The correct answer was pulsars. Please join us after the break when we do a score check and begin the second half.
When you support your PBS station, you're supporting possibilities. You're making sure there's a place for independent voices. You're opening children's minds. And you're giving everyone the chance to find inspiration from the arts. To discover more, be more. Support possibilities. Support your PBS station.
There is one stage that is the Met and Carnegie Hall. It is the Kennedy Center and a club in Austin. It is closer than any seat in the house, no matter where you call home. PBS, the great American stage that fits in every living room. Supporting your PBS station brings the arts home.
Welcome back. At the half, the score is Pensacola High with 210 points, Pine Forest with 10, and both schools have made substitutions at the half. I will now ask the players from Pensacola to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Preston, and my favorite field of study is science.
I'm Malcolm, and my favorite field of study is lunch.
I'm Anna, and my favorite field of study is math.
And I'll now ask the players from Pine Forest to introduce themselves.
I'm Steven, and my favorite subject is history.
I am Thomas. My favorite field of study is history.
Thank you, players. We will now begin the second 10-minute half. This question involves calculation. Question: if a 20-kilogram object has a net force of 50 newtons acting on it in the direction of motion, how long will it take to accelerate from 10 meters per second to 30 meters per second?
Pensacola, player 4.
4 seconds.
That is incorrect.
Pine Forest, player 2.
Socrates.
That is incorrect. The correct answer is 8 seconds. Toss up. You can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, and you can trust yourself when all men doubt you but make allowance for their doubting too. These phrases are preceded by a single word in a poem written in 1895 by Rudyard Kipling. Name that two-letter word.
Pine Forest, player 4.
We.
Incorrect.
Pensacola, player 3.
Keep calm.
Incorrect. The two-letter word is also the title of the poem. It's if. Toss-up question. This mountain range is as wide as the Himalayas and twice as long. It contains the point on the Earth's surface farthest from its center and the tallest mountains outside of Asia. Some of its peaks are Galan, Paruma, El Misti.
Pensacola, player 2.
The Andes.
Andes is correct. For your bonus, identify the Shakespeare plays from which the following quotes are taken for 10 points each. Number 1. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven.
Oh my God.
Answer, please.
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Incorrect. It's The Merchant of Venice. Second bonus. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
No, it's the other one.
Answer, please.
As You Like It.
That is correct.
Yeah.
10 points on bonus. Toss up. She is loved by both the artists Italian names, Cavadarossi and the police chief Scarpia. As in any good tragic opera, all three of them die by the end. Name this tempestuous woman, the title character in an opera that was originally performed in
Pine Forest, player 3.
Carmen.
That is incorrect. I'll finish. The title character in an opera that was originally performed in 1900 and written by Giacomo Puccini.
Pensacola, player 3.
Madam Butterfly.
Incorrect. It's Tosca. Next toss-up question. His PhD was in astronomy, and he devoted much of his life's effort to meteorology, dying of exposure on a trip to study air circulation around Greenland. His 1915 book, The Origin of Continents and Oceans, which was ridiculed at the time, described the former existence of a single
Pensacola, player 2.
Wegener.
Alfred Wegener is correct. Continental drift. For your bonus, identify these famous paintings, including dogs, for 10 points each. Number 1. A sleeping white dog lies at the foot of a bed in this Titian painting, which portrays a naked woman as a reclining Roman goddess.
Venus de Urbino.
That is correct.
Of Urbino.
Next, a curly-haired dog represents fidelity in this 1434 Jan van Eyck painting, which depicts the title figures joining hands in a marriage ceremony.
The Arnolfini Wedding.
That is correct. Toss-up question. This title character has friends named Cleonike and Lampito and a handmaid named Peace. By convincing the women of Greece to take an oath together, she is able to end the Peloponnesian War. Name this comic play by Aristophanes whose title character leads a sex strike to discourage the warring men.
Pensacola, player 3.
The Clouds.
Incorrect. And the correct answer is Lysistrata. Toss-up question. He ruled from the time his nation was founded until his death in 1964. A leader of the Congress Party, he believed that his country should be democratic, socialist, and secular. He was a widower, and his daughter, who was treated like a first lady during his lifetime, later served as prime minister herself. Though he fought hard for India's independence, he decided to keep his nation in the British Commonwealth. Name this Indian statesman and ally of Mohandas Gandhi.
Pensacola. Player 2.
Nehru.
Nehru is correct. For your bonus, given the scientific acronym, identify what it stands for 10 points each. Number 1, laser, L-A-S-E-R.
Light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation.
Well done, that's correct. Number 2, radar, R-A-D-A-R.
Radio. Dispersion.
Answer, please.
No answer.
The correct answer is radio detection and ranging.
Radar.
10 points on bonus. The next tossed-up involves calculation. Question, for triangle ADE, point B is on AD and point C is on AE. Segment BC is parallel to segment DE. Find the length of segment AE if AB is 10, BD is 6, and AC is 15. Correct answer is 24. Toss up. It is formed by passing the narrow end of a tapered tube through the side of the tube and flaring this end out to join the other end. It is possible to pass from a point on one side of this object to the corresponding point on the opposite side without passing through the...
Pensacola. Player 2.
A Mobius strip?
That is incorrect. I'll continue. Without passing through the surface, which is a reason why this shape is so interesting topologically. Name this surface that, unlike a Mobius strip, has no boundary. And the correct answer is a Klein bottle. Toss-up question. This word containing the letter Q is an antonym of formal and a synonym of conversational. It refers to informal language that is employed in casual speech, but not used in formal speech.
Pensacola. Player 3.
Colloquial.
Colloquial is correct. Protest. Okay, we'll address that at the break. For your bonus, answer the following about the European medieval social and political order for 10 points each. First, this term describes the system of vassalage and agricultural economy that dominated in medieval Europe. Feudalism? That is correct. Next, this term denotes the system by which all possessions of a man upon his death were transferred to his oldest son.
Primogeniture? Primogeniture?
That is correct. Toss-up question. This book tells of the prophet Lehi and his followers, who became the Lamanites and Nephites.
Pensacola. Player 1.
The Book of Mormon.
That is correct. For your bonus, identify these things related to the standard model of particle physics for 10 points each. First, these particles are the quantum of electromagnetic energy and were first postulated in Einstein's 1905 paper on the photoelectric effect.
Photons?
That is correct. Next, baryons and mesons are made up of these elementary particles, which are divided into 6 categories, including up, down, charm, strange, bottom, and top.
Quarks?
Quarks are correct. Toss-up question. This was first proposed by Ronald Reagan in March 1983 and was later pushed by George W. Bush and Donald Rumsfeld. The original proposal was that space-based and Earth-based laser battle stations...
Player 2.
Star Wars?
Commonly known as Star Wars, formerly known as the Strategic Defense Initiative. That is correct.
Okay.
The bonus involves calculation. Answer the following questions about a circuit with an 18-volt power source and 3 resistors connected in parallel with resistance of 3 ohms, 6 ohms, and 9 ohms. First, what is the voltage across the 6 ohm resistor?
18. It's 3, 6, and 18. 18.
That is correct. Next, what is the power dissipated by the 9 ohm resistor?
V squared R. P equals V squared R, so 18 squared times 9.
Answer, please.
18 squared times 9.
Incorrect. That was 36 watts. That marks the end of the half. Please join us after the break for a final score check.
When I was 6 years old, I saw a program on Nova called Superbridge. I was in the 1st grade and wasn't doing too good in school. When I was watching it, I was just like so excited. Like I kept asking my dad, "Dad, why are they using that? What's that?" It was just like so interesting. Me and my mom discovered from Nova that the construction company had a website. I asked them how to get a job there and what I need to do in school. They told me that if I wanted to come build bridges for them, that I need to work in reading and math. That year, I went from an F in reading to an A, and for summer vacation, we went to see the bridge in St. Louis. I met the engineers, and we had lunch there, big foot-long hot dogs. And for dessert, a bridge made out of cake. Then they brought me a job application. Thank you, Ron, for telling me about Nova, because I know what I want to do with my life now.
The whole Earth is big. Like, go to different places, look everywhere, find stuff. It's fun. You have to bring your safari cameras to take pictures of the safari things. You need to learn how to explore the world.
Welcome back. The final score for tonight's match is Pensacola High School with 325, Pine Forest High School with 5. I would like to thank the students, coaches, and volunteers who made this production possible. Please join us again here on WSRE for more of the Escambia County Academic Challenge. Thank you and good night.